Hello, Internet. This is Lord Mad Dog, and I'm coming at you a really quick update with what I'm working on right now, and that's working with eyes as my character creator. You can see here I've already have it all set up, and I'm just go quickly over what I have done. So first off, you have your right eye and your left eye. You can choose these settings here, and you'll see there that the eyes change according to the ones you pick. Right now, I only have a total of 12, but that's the default MetaHuman system. So this is just basically a copy over from MetaHuman directly, because that's basically the goal is to have a MetaHuman creator uh, in the at runtime. So you see here all these different eyes here. I think my favorite is I think I think the last one pretty close to my favorite. Now let's talk about color. We can see here we can change our color of the eye. You don't have to go so extreme into the red thing here. You can just slide here. But if you see down here, we have brightness, and that's basically what's affecting this right now because it's not normally that bright. Your eyes are kind of not quite that big. So let me set these back to default so we can, kind of get more of a realistic look here. So if we want to have more of a kind of a light blue, or we could even kind of set it back to default here. Oh, actually, you got to click in the middle to set it back to default here. So we got gray and green. Yeah. But I do like the blue here. Oh, nope, that one mixed more like a green because of the color of the eye here. So if we went more bluish, oh, we could have a green. We could even have a brown, even a red, purple. I know there's no purples in purple eyes in real life. I have seen slightly yellow eyes. They're like they are a little bit brighter. So we have brightness. Yeah, like gold, like Aphron gold or Aurelian gold. So bright eyes. So you see there, that's pretty much the how it works. Then we can change the corona of the eye. So we hear the eye getting bigger or smaller on the inside there. And then we can change the pupil dilation. You could set up a script to run this at runtime, but I don't see why you would have to. But some games love that amount of detail. So we have there one big eye and one small eye, one enormous eye. And a very bright eye. There we go. Almost getting cat-like now. Set that back to default. Do 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 do. And crank it up to brightness. I do like the brightness, adding the brightness to it. I think that really makes a difference. So you can just click through these and see exactly how they look afterwards. They each got a little bit of difference that really makes it kind of cool. Well, that one's like, that's cool. And that's pretty much the entire eye setup. It took me a long time to set it up, but it working, and now it's completely and totally performant. Not performant heavy. It's very performant efficient. Performance. I don't remember what it's called, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do work on is hair. The problem with hair is that I have heads, and each one of my heads are there we go, face here. Each one of my head models is different. So that's what happens when you switch the head. It messes the hair all up. And the only way to fix that is to have a binding for each head. Oh, and having a binding for each head. Oh, I didn't know those two worked. Okay, but having a binding for each head is not easy to set up because then I have to have a binding for each hairstyle, each head, and then I have to also make sure that they are the right height because it's messing up sometimes. It can sometimes put the hair up high or low, and it's really hard to figure out sometimes why it's doing that. And just to have 10 different hairstyles, not including beards, mustache, or eyelids or eyebrows, just to have 10, I would have to have 220 bindings. Now I could automate the making of that, but I cannot automate the signing of that, which means I'd have to have extremely complicated data tables to make sure that every hair and binding match each other. And I've tried to figure that out and it didn't work too well. And I'm not really sure I want to have 220 bindings just for 10 hairstyles, because then I'm going to build files. I mean, because I plan to have almost all the hairstyles that Unreal Engine has, and it's a MetaCreator, which I think they're closer to 50 hairstyles, closer to it's at least 30, I think. So that, and then I have to do eyebrows, and I have to do mustaches, and I have to do eyelashes, and I have to do beards. So you're talking over 1,000 easily, maybe close to 2,000 binding things, and then I have to have, like I said, the math to do it. Now the other person suggested that I would create morphs for the face instead of actually switching the face model. So like right now, I'm actually switching to my face model. We're changing, you can actually see here to the way the hair, you can see the face is actually changing. The problem with that is the new system I'm using doesn't use DNA files, and I could not figure out how to do it not using DNA files. It's like, so setting up the morph. So if anybody knows how to go about this, I would really appreciate it. Any suggestions in the comments or on my Discord or somewhere, a tutorial on how to do this would be awesome. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this little review. If you have, like, shares, and comments are always welcome. Lord Mad Dog, signing off.